I'm Michael Williams, founder of the Memoir Studio, and I want to welcome you to Writing Through the Fear, a seven-part video series for memoir writers who feel called to tell their stories but find themselves hesitating. Hello, once again, and welcome back to my final session of the seven-part series on Writing Through the Fear, in which I've addressed seven different kinds of fears that writers face when it comes to writing memoir or personal story. This week, I want to share my thoughts on, well, basically, I'm calling this, now that I've written it, what next? And this is really addressing that fear or challenge of uncertainty, of what are the next steps and how do you honor your writing when you've completed it or near the end. So finally, I want to welcome you, and I want to begin by acknowledging something important. If you've written anything, one sentence, one story, one memory, then you have already done something courageous. So now a new question begins to emerge. And that is, I've written all these pieces. Yeah, now what? Do I share them, organize them, publish them, or are they just for me? Now, I know that question doesn't necessarily come from fear. It comes from a desire to honor what you've written and maybe to offer it to someone else. But what's the right next step? Let me illustrate this with a story. I once worked with a man in his early 80s who had handwritten, I don't know, dozens of stories about his life on yellow legal pads, and he tucked them away in desk drawers. Stories of immigrating to Canada, working on construction sites in Toronto, raising children, losing a spouse. And he told me, Michael, I don't need to be published. I just want to put these in one place so my family knows who I really was. I meet a lot of people who write for that reason. So together, we organized his stories into sections. And we cleaned up the grammar, but left his voice intact. He printed 10 copies at a local shop and then gave them to his kids and grandkids at Thanksgiving. One of his daughters told me later it was the most meaningful gift any of us had ever received. You see, you don't have to publish your writing to make it meaningful. There are many paths forward. You might compile your stories into a personal legacy book. You might self-publish a memoir, privately or publicly. You might share excerpts in a blog or in a newsletter or amongst a circle of trusted friends. Or you might choose to keep your writing as private, part of your spiritual or creative practice. All of these are valid. What matters is that you choose what feels right for you. And if you feel uncertain, well, you don't have to figure it out alone. You see, there's no rush. Your stories will wait for you. You can return to them when you're ready, with fresh eyes or with help. You might want a coach to help you shape your material. I did that recently for one of my clients, and she ended up publishing, getting her work printed, 100 copies printed for friends and family. Or you might want to be a part of a small group to give you feedback and encouragement, something I do in my memoir coaching. Or simply time and space to reread what you've created and ask, what wants to emerge from this? There's no one way, but there is a way for you. So my final prompt of the series, take another 10 minutes and begin here. What I want to do with these stories is finish that. Write it like a letter to yourself. No pressure, just possibilities. What I want to do with these stories is. Thank you for walking through the series with me. Memoir is more than writing. It's a homecoming to your memories, to your meaning, to yourself. And wherever your stories lead next, know this. You have already done the most important thing. you've begun. So please keep writing what's true. And if you need a companion on the path, I'm here. Until then, be kind to your words and even kinder to yourself. This has been Michael Williams for the Memoir Studio. Thank you very much. And if you do want to explore your memoir writing in more depth and you need some support, I'm here at the Memoir Studio to help. I have courses and resources and classes to help the aspiring memoir writer. So please drop by. Send me a message at michael@memoirstudio.ca and I'll get back to you and we can have a conversation. Okay, thank you very much.